whether women are single or they are dating, I've just seen some of the pain points. I've just seen a lot of frustration, confusion. What do I do? What do I not do? Understanding men and where they're coming from. And today's video and audio, if you're listening on the podcast, is all about what women want to know when it comes to godly pursuit and dating. All right, YouTube family or podcast family, if you're listening, we are currently on a series called Christ-Centered Relationships, where we're diving into topics around dating, marriage, family, singleness, whatever. And so we do want to hear from you guys. So if you're on YouTube, comment below some topics that you want to hear for the next several weeks.
Yes.
And today's video and audio, if you're listening on the podcast, is all about what women want to know when it comes to godly pursuit and dating.
Okay.
And so I'm going to be interviewing my husband. This is going to be a lot of fun. I've gathered some questions on Instagram from like different girls and just like honestly conversations that we have
Yeah.
in real life time with so many women that are struggling in the dating space. And guys too. We're going to do a video for the guys as well. So men of
Yeah.
God, we've not forgotten about you.
I've forgotten about you.
But man, I think it's safe to say, babe, that I think that the women that are struggling in the dating space far outweighs maybe some of the complaints I've heard from the guys.
I would say in different ways. There is, I mean, we'll get into it, but I just think that there's angst on both ends, and we can speak into those when.
Okay, all right. I just feel like we always talking to the ladies. And so
Listen.
I feel for my sisters of God, okay? And so this video is about you. It's for you. And so I just think Caleb has so much wisdom when it comes to this area, and a lot of sisters and women like do lean on his advice when it comes to some of this stuff. And so we're like, why not bring this into a video? And so drop it in the comments if there's some things that you want to know or you want to hear when it comes to this. But
Definitely.
whether women are single or they are dating, I've just seen some of the pain points. I've just seen a lot of frustration, confusion,
That's
and even just like, what do I do? What do I not do? Understanding men and where they're coming from, or
definitely multifaceted.
it's multifaceted. And we have specific questions and even some questions that I've gathered from some ladies. So why don't we go ahead and get started? I have them all here on my phone. Are you ready?
Right.
babe?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, all right. So I think one of the common threads that I hear from girls or women, women of God, is the frustration and lack of intentionality with men. Like men not being intentional with pursuit
Yeah.
or being intentional in their communication or intentional about their own personal development. Just a lack of intentionality and just a passivity in Christian men nowadays.
Yeah.
What would you have to say about that?
Yeah, I think that if you want to dive deep, and we could do this for an hour, but if you want to dive deep, there's always a root issue. There's always a place that is a hindrance to a man being intentional. What did his father exemplify in his life that would cause him to look at that and want to imitate intentionality? So a lot of times it is a root issue. And when it comes to men pursuing, a lot of times men do feel like, man, if this woman turns me down, we'll probably get into that, but then they feel insignificant. So I do think that women love a confident man. So I mean, let's just be real. Even if, like, for example,
Confident but not prideful.
confident about,
Not arrogant. Confident but not arrogant.
yeah, confident is it speaks for itself. Confident, not arrogant, not egotistical. And I think it speaks for itself when, let's just be real, like, we're all fearfully and wonderfully made, right? But like, say if the guy is not like the best looking, right? Let's just be honest. But man, he is confident. Like, that is
That's
attractive
actually
to a
I was
woman.
gonna say that's actually
That is
attractive.
attractive to a woman. So a lot of times when a man approaches a woman, they're already lacking confidence, right? Whether it's Maybe they just don't feel like they have anything to bring to the table. If a woman is accomplished, if a woman's in ministry, or if maybe the woman is more like a dominant type of personality, right? Like more bold, and maybe you feel like the man feels like they're more like kind of, man, I'm not doing what they're doing. Sometimes men can actually do that. I've talked to a couple of my friends that feel like that, and again, we can get more into that, but I think that at the base level, it is a lack of confidence. And then when they approach the woman with lack of confidence, and it causes them not to be intentional.
Okay. So, and you kind of touched on this too, like if a woman is strong or if a woman is confident, um do you think that some of the feminist agenda,
Mhm, mhm.
like the demonic feminist agenda where it's like we don't need men and I'm good with doing it on my own, whatever.
Yeah,
Do you think that that has played into maybe some of the lack of intentionality or the lack of confidence or
yeah.
the insecurity among men?
I think I always go down to what did the father exemplify in their life? Like, did they have a father to model that after? So the feminist agenda just throws the icing on the cake to what the man lacks in confidence, or what his father didn't instill in him. So the feminist agenda definitely is, but I don't want it to be the complete excuse, because every woman's not like that. And also, again, if anybody has a right mind, right, then they look at that and go, "That's not what a woman is," right? Like even a biblical woman, a Proverbs 31 woman, a woman that is servant hearted but still knows and what she's called to do in life. Like, the feminist agenda is just an icing on the cake to what maybe the man had lacked in his life with his father.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, at our church, we just did like a series with the women. And it was like on Proverbs 31, but
Yeah.
that word in the Hebrew, or that what that passage is talking about in Proverbs 31 in the Hebrew, she's called a woman of valor. And
Mhm.
it's just such a beautiful picture. Even, our pastor's wife wrote a book on this, on the woman of valor. And I
Incredible.
love the picture on the front where she's very feminine, but, like, she's wearing, like, a shield and she's strong.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, I feel like, you know, because I even remember when you were pursuing me,
Mhm.
I am a strong woman,
100%.
I'm a strong leader, I'm a strong woman,
Mhm.
I know what I want. Maybe back then I still had obviously, I had areas that I needed to grow in,
Yeah.
at the time that you were pursuing me, but
Mhm.
I am very loud and confident and strong.
Which I love.
But you were super clear with your intentions, and
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
for both the woman that is maybe a little more quiet, and there's nothing wrong with that, like super sweet, super
Yeah.
quiet,
Yeah.
homemaker, and then maybe even the boss babe type girl who's like, "I'm strong, I'm loud,
Yeah.
whatever." How would you speak to, I guess both men and women that, okay, you can still be confident in intentionality and in pursuit
Mhm. Mhm.
for even, like, a strong woman or
Yeah.
maybe a woman that has a personality that's a little more quiet.
Yeah, yeah. I would say this, and going beyond personalities, or beyond a woman being, maybe more demonstrative, or maybe more just like to
Like,
herself.
reserved.
Reserved,
Yeah.
reserved. I would say this, that no matter what your personality is on both sides, clear communication is key.
Yes.
Clear communication is key. So I've seen this happen where a guy states his intentions, and the woman may not be interested in the guy, but keeps leading him on because she doesn't want to say no to him, and then
Yes.
and then
This
her
is
her
for the women
yeah,
too. This is for
100%,
the women
100%,
too.
100%, because poor guy over here throwing his whole heart out here, and the girl keeps leading him on, going, "Okay, yeah, we'll meet over here. Maybe we have a coffee date." And the next, "Oh, or I don't know." And because she is not bold in she may be bold in her personality, but not bold in her communication. Does that make sense? And people pleasing, because really the root and the issue is people pleasing, and this could be for the man or the woman. It's like, you don't want to tell this person no because you don't want to, like, let them down. Yeah, like, you don't want to hurt their feelings, right? Some people care so much that they actually hinder communication.
Yeah. Okay, so this is now going into communication, and I think this is so good because Because if a guy is being intentional and they are like they've either stated their intentions clearly
Mhm.
or they've put themselves out there multiple times,
Yep.
women of God,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
women of God, I gotta put this out there too. You gotta be clear too in your communication. So
100%.
just as much as there's a lack in clear communication, when a guy is not clear about their communication or their intentions and they're just dragging their feet, and then the woman's wondering like, dude, are you interested?
Yeah.
Are you not interested?
Yeah.
Like, what's the deal?
Yeah.
Women too, if a guy has put themselves out there
100%.
and you're just like dragging your feet because either you don't want to hurt them or you're maybe just not discerning that dude, the guy is
It's,
interested in you.
that's true.
That's why he's like either sending you nice quotes or he's
That's
sending
so
you
true.
reels all the time on Instagram or he's asked you out on a coffee date multiple times. And you're just like,
Just
just
oblivious.
be honest. Like,
Yeah. Be
just be
honest.
honest. Just
Yeah.
tell the guy, hey, I'm not interested.
100%.
If you're a guy, I feel like you should tell a woman, like,
Yep.
hey, I'm interested. That's why I keep messaging you.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to cause confusion, which will then only damage your heart.
I
You
agree.
know what I mean?
I
So,
agree.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's
No, I love it. I
that's
love it.
that's a key one. Okay.
Both sides there.
Okay, let me see. Let me pull up some questions that some of the girls asked on
Yeah.
Insta.
Yeah. 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 Give me them questions.
Okay. We kind of talked about this. Why do Christian women feel like men aren't stepping up?
Yeah. We talked about that.
We
I
touched
think
on that. Okay.
the root issue.
Just saying hey on Instagram won't cut it.
I mean, listen,
That's facts.
it's true. Like just saying hey on Instagram won't cut it. Like I remember when I was being, kind of more
Yeah, because
hey,
you slid
because
into my
I slid
DMs
into your DMs. I admit it, but I did state my intentions, and you stated
because
your
I
intentions.
asked you.
You did ask me,
I was
so
like, I ain't
so
playing this guessing game.
that's true.
I
That's
ain't
true.
playing this guessing game. Sometimes you just gotta ask, like even okay. Now this kind of goes back to communication.
This does.
Because
I
because if
agree.
if you're wondering as a woman, "Is he interested? Is he interested? Does he like me?" Okay, we went on a couple dates, but I haven't really heard any texts back. Like, why are you so afraid not to just ask?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm wondering. Because Caleb was messaging me, like, for 2 weeks on Instagram, like, OD, like, every other day, and I was like, "Why do you wanna" and we met at a conference, so, like, after the conference was over, I was like, "Bro, we have nothing to talk about, like, why are you DMing me?" And so I just straight up asked
Yeah,
you,
you
like,
asked me.
what are your intentions
Intentions.
behind these direct
Yeah.
messages?"
And once you asked me my intentions, I stated my intentions. I didn't beat around the bush. I said it's to get to know you better.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said,
Yeah.
right? And then we communicated from there because intentions were stated clearly from the get-go.
Yeah, and I told you too at the time that I wasn't looking for anything more than friendship,
That's right.
and you
And
respected
I
those
respected that
boundaries
boundary.
while still intentionally reaching out and messaging me within those boundaries,
100%.
and
So
that was attractive to
and
me.
you know what? It's because I was confident and knew who I was. And I believe for men, if a woman in a season does this and she says, I just want to be friends, I think it's cool. I think it's great. There is something to be said about a man still giving the woman her boundaries. And if you state that maybe this is not the season for, you can still have some healthy pursuit and being there for someone before the door actually opens. Does that make sense? So we don't really talk about that where, you said, you know what, I just wanted these to be friends right now. You did kind of friend zone me a little bit, but
I've had I've had
I sensed and did discern. Again, this is a whole other thing that I was like, you know what, she's not ready right now, but she gonna come around. She's gonna come around. I know she's gonna come
that's
around.
confidence on a whole other level.
It is, it is, it is. So
Oh, this is a good one. How does a man know when he's found the one? Like, what is a true man of God? Like a
mm,
godly man?
mm.
Like not playing around, not whatever, like a true man of God. What are they looking for in a woman that makes them say, "Man, this is the one." You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's a loaded baked potato. That it's a lot, but I think simply because I think finding the one is a process. Because when you enter into courtship, which is unto marriage, you're finding out if this person will be the one. So then there's characteristics. Men love to be respected. Men love affirmation. I do believe men love affirmation. Like, man, you're doing a really great job you're providing. You're working really hard. You're a businessman. Like, wow, I really honor that about you. Men love that. Even if it's not their love language, Men love to be affirmed in that area.
Well, not everybody's a
Being
businessman. Can you
no,
clarify what you mean by that?
I just gave examples. It was just examples. So whatever your craft is, and when a woman affirms a man in their craft or what they're pursuing, it's like it touches the heart in a different way, even if the love language is not words of affirmation. But to be loved, to be respected, and also someone, if they're willing to actually grow a family together. I think that true men of God wanna have a quiver, wanna have, some arrows in their quiver. They're thinking about legacy. They're thinking about, "Man, who can I build with?" And so if there's a woman that they're pursuing, they're courting, that is like, "Man, I'm ready to go to the next level. I wanna go to the next level. I wanna," in their pursuit with God, in their pursuit with their dreams, that's attractive to a man. And I would say vice versa for a woman as well. When they see a man is going after something, going after has vision for their
Vision,
life,
vision, vision, vision.
that's what men are looking for. They're looking to be respected, loved, to grow a family together, a true, again, a true man that's going somewhere. They want their legacy to go on and on through the generations. Does that make sense?
Women wanna know, like, even when they're dating, like, let's say they're in the pursuit stage,
Mhm.
right? And we're going out for a cup of coffee. A woman doesn't like to feel like the man is scouting them for how this woman will benefit him
That makes
and if she's marriage material. She just wants to be seen for who she is. So, like, what does a man look for in a woman of God that says, "Okay, is it that she has her hair done? Is it that she's put together? Is it the way she worships? Is it that he caught her reading the Bible at a coffee
I think
shop?"
for every man it would be different. Like there's different characteristics for every man that they're looking for, just like there is for a woman in specifics like that. Building together, we're going forward together as a team. Like who can be my purpose partner? I'm willing to pour into that because they're already going somewhere. Without me, they're confident in who they are in the Lord. They don't need me to keep affirming who they are. I'm the icing on the cake. I'm the one going, man, so you know who you are. I'm gonna continue to fuel that and push you towards your destiny. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so that's something that would be an answer too, and what a godly man is looking for in a woman is that
Yeah.
she's secure in her identity in Christ.
Yeah.
She knows who she is
Yeah.
as a woman of God.
Yeah.
Because I think women find that attractive too for a man, is
Yeah.
that they know who they are, they know what they're going after,
Yeah.
there's stability there. Okay, this one says they should just ask us out. The worst that we can say is no. Which is true, but what if a woman said no, like, what if a woman said no over and over, or a man has gotten a no over and over, like, and they put themselves out there and it's just a constant no, and they're just defeated to, like, keep
Yeah.
trying, or they've gotten hardened by that, like, how
Yeah.
how would you speak into that?
Well, it just depends on who are they approaching, like how are they approaching? Has it been the same woman, or are you talking about with different people have said no as he's tried to
Either
tried
one.
to? Yeah, I mean that I would say when it comes to like men being denied, I would say I would look at this is really practical. Maybe ask some other men, what am I doing? Like, what are the things that I can say? How can I, better put myself together? Maybe there's something that is causing a woman to say no or women to say no all the time. If you're getting no's, 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 just some practical wisdom. I would just ask a seasoned father, someone who has been through it, who has a family, who's been loyal to their wife, like all the healthy things. Hey, how do I pursue a woman's heart? I think it's super practical because if you're getting no's, no's, no's all the time, then maybe there's something that you're doing to receive those. And I mean, listen, I'm a man, so like I understand. Like some people are more tenderhearted than others, and they see it as rejection. But literally, sometimes it could be your protection, because if you getting rejected, and maybe it's
Rejection can be
can be
God's
God's protection.
protection.
Come on, man. And so, but on the flip side, ask someone that's seasoned, how can you pursue a woman's heart?
Alright, 2 more questions. What would you say when it comes to men that over spiritualize the dating process?
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh gosh.
This is a whole topic
Yeah.
in itself,
Yeah.
okay? Because I've experienced it, not with you, thank God, and I've seen other women experience this.
Yeah.
I have my thoughts. You can go ahead and
Yeah.
share your wisdom on this because We've seen this too.
I
We've
have
seen this too, where
I have
everything
seen
is either
this.
like the man is like not serious about the Lord and they're trying to like, they just waggly gaggling around or whatever,
Mhm.
or they're like super serious about the Lord and like make the dating process. I'm not even talking about like engagement and marriage. I'm talking about like the process from pursuit and even dating is
Yeah.
like so over spiritual
Mhm.
and to the point where it's caused a lot of hurt
A
and
lot of hurt.
confusion for a woman,
Yeah.
which is like
I would just to
counterintuitive.
talk to the men, don't put God's name on your lack of confidence to pursue a woman in a biblical way. Does that make sense? So, what I mean by this is when you are interested in a woman, don't ever say, God said or God told me to pursue you. Don't put God's holy name on lackluster effort. Don't do that. Because what'll happen is, first of all, it's manipulative. Second of all, I mean, God bless y'all who God did tell you to pursue. But even if God told you to pursue a woman, protect her heart by not mentioning that and just by being a man of action. Protect her heart by not mentioning that, but just do what God has told you to do without telling her that God told you to do it.
Yeah, because I've seen this where God will or not where God, where guys will approach a woman and say, "God gave me a dream," or "God told me to pursue you," or whatever. And then that causes major confusion to the woman because she's like, unless she's just super confident in hearing the voice of God. But I've
Yeah.
seen it to where it causes confusion in women.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, God didn't tell me that. Can I hear the voice of God? Are they deeper in God than I am?
Yeah.
I'm not even attracted to the guy, Lord. Are you trying to like,
Yeah.
put me together with somebody I'm not even physically attracted to? I mean, let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Definitely a
know
no
how to be
no.
physically attractive.
Definitely a
Please.
no no. Definitely a
Look,
no no.
it's not all about like every date is not a prayer meeting. You know what I'm saying? Even in the dating realm where things are over spiritualized,
Mhm.
I've seen that a lot as well. Like, and it causes so much insecurity in women who feel like, man, am I as close to God? Or like, because he wants to like pray for this long or read his Bible for this long or literally like so legalistic to the point where like, hey, we talked for an hour and you're becoming an idol and we can't
Yeah.
we have to fast each other because I mean I've just heard so
It's
many
just
things.
immaturity, it's spiritual immaturity. And again, people fill up with spiritual language what they lack in practical knowledge.
Facts. Yeah.
So let's just be real. That's what happens. And so you think you could put God's name on something and a woman just goes, "You said God." No, it actually throws women into more confusion. Let's just not be weird. Like, can we just say, just don't be weird. Just be a normal human being. Hey, my name is Caleb Graves. What is your name? Your name is Claudia Graves. Awesome. It's really good to meet you. Why can't we do that? We need to learn some life skills. Maybe as a kid you weren't taught life skills.
Life skills is also
Yeah.
spiritual.
So it's spiritual. So anyway, men of God, men who love to pray. Okay? Listen, one day, if you want it, you're gonna be changing diapers. One day you're gonna have to cook your wife a meal. And I guarantee you, if she asks you to cook a meal and you go, sorry, I gotta pray, be ready to get a pan thrown at you. Be ready to get a sandal thrown at you. I'm sorry. Listen, if you want to stay single, then do that life. Have that life where you want to pray all day. It's great. Men of prayer, awesome. I'm a man of prayer. But there's practical wisdom in serving your wife. And when she's asking you to do something that will help her and take some pressure off of her, the last thing you want to do is say, I'm going to go pray, or I don't know if I can do this. It's not spiritual enough. I'm sorry. You got to kill that religious spirit. If you want to get married, then that has to happen. If you don't want to get married, then keep on praying for 30 hours out of the day and you stay single. God bless you.
The thing is like cuz this applies to women too cuz
Yeah,
I've seen it on both sides, but
sure.
like people want the benefits of marriage while still having the characteristics of a single person.
Yeah.
It's like you wanna be married, but, like, that and you wanna have kids, but
Yeah.
that means that your prayer life it's not that you're letting go of it, it's
No.
that it's just going to look different
Yeah.
from season to season, and
100%.
so, as more responsibilities add on, as the demands of life happen these are actually all holy things.
Yeah.
Marriage is holy. And
Yeah.
sure, I'm not being locked up in a room and praying for 6 hours. And like my prayer life does look different as a wife, and I'm sure it will as a mom,
Yeah.
than it did when I was single and fell in love with the prayer room and fell in love with the studying of God's word. I would just sit there for hours, and it looks different. And sometimes the trap can be to fall into, oh man, I'm not as close to Jesus anymore.
Yeah.
Oh man, like this is getting in the way. And we see blessing as distraction.
Yeah.
But really, God is saying, no, this is actually a blessing because I'm using it to sanctify you and conform you
100%.
into my image,
100%.
unless you're called to singleness. Like, but that's got to be a calling. You know what I'm saying? And if you feel called to singleness,
Yeah.
that means you're also saying, I feel called to stay pure, meaning I'm not having sex. Okay.
And even Paul talks about it. I mean, and this is in Caleb's version. Paul says, if you want to have more time with God, stay single. Because Paul was single, right? But if you want to become more like Jesus and present a surrendered self, a person that has died to themselves, again, in singlehood, you can do that too. But Paul's distinguishing, you know what? When you get married, you do become more like Jesus. When you're single, you do have more time with God. So you have to make that decision.
All right. Well, babe, I think that's it for this video. But man, that was so much fun. That was very, very insightful. Thank you so much for answering some of those questions. Let us know some of your thoughts in the comments below, whether it's from experience or should we do another video on this topic. We are going to do one for the men.
Oh, yeah.
Where Caleb will maybe ask me some questions. So drop some of that in the comments. So we're excited to continue this series on Christ-centered relationships.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, please comment. It helps push this video out for people to have tools in their hands, just candid conversation as well. And we love this digital family. We love you guys. You guys help us out so much by engaging with us. So thank you, community, family. We love you guys. Until the next episode, God bless.
See you later.